The NGSS standards are new standards that are created for today's learners and for today's teachers to teach to them. Since the old ones were created in 1996, over 20 years old now, they don't really apply to what today's learners are in need of and what they possibly could be doing in the future. How to read the standards, there are 3 dimensions in each standard. There is practices, which is describe behaviors scientists and engineers engage in, and then disciplinary core ideas, which describe core ideas in the science disciplines, which is what is being taught and what needs to be learned. And there's also cross-cutting concepts, which describe concepts linking the different domains of science. And teaching these standards in a classroom, especially elementary classrooms, is going to be almost the same throughout now. It is going to be kind of different just because, older kids are going to be able to get more in depth in things and have more difficult experiments when they're working on this. But in elementary classrooms, it's more of like investigations, that they have an idea or a question that they need to investigate the solution for it. I watched 3 different videos, and the first video I watched was the importance of these next generation science standards. And it kind of talked about how today's jobs and math and engineering and that stuff has really blown up. And the old standards from 1996 weren't as engaging and helping the kids learn what they needed to be successful in today. The second video I watched was one of cross-cutting concepts, and this was, I assume, an expert of the new generation standards, and he had a group of teachers, and they were specifically talking about cross-cutting concepts, which there are 7 concepts, which are cause and effect, structure and function, systems, scale, proportion and quantity, stabilize and change, matter and energy, and patterns. Just like they were doing a activity with the flag and describing how the flag moves. And a lot of it was, the wind would come in and it would cause, or the wind came in, which affected the flag and how it moved, which is a cross-cutting concept. And that the teachers doing the activity themselves and having to work through that helped them see that these cross-cutting concepts can be over anything, whether it be science, and that can translate into any other subject in science, like physical science, like stuff like that. The last video I watched was working as a team, and it was highlighting a classroom of 2nd graders and the importance of working as a team in these new standards, which growing up, middle, high school, and elementary, you do have things that you do work as a group. So doing this with science is not only done when I was in school, but now they're teaching them to be good team members now, and that they will go through that as they get older. In this video, they were working on an activity of erosion, and they each had a job, and she explained that as activities go on, she can see who works better with who, and you have to change things. You're not going to keep groups the same throughout the whole year. And also another important thing she said was that, yes, a recorder, you might have some kids that aren't the best handwriters, but they should still get a chance at doing each of these roles. And lastly, 2 questions I have about teaching these next generation standards in an elementary classroom is making an effective lesson plan, being like knowing how to make an effective lesson plan with an effective lesson, that they are able to connect these things, especially being as young as kindergarten. because I know some of these things are a little bit harder, especially those younger kids. So I will be interested to know how to do that. And another question I have is making the activities, especially the younger kids in kindergarten, because making engaging and effective activities for them to do that they are able to get the concept that they need and learn what they need to is, I think, going to be a little challenging, just because science can be fun, but it also is harder, especially the younger they are, trying to make like safe, fun, and actually like get the concept.